Welcome to History After Dark on the Instagram and on the YouTube. If you're here on the YouTube, you can see all three of our faces. If you're on the Instagram, it's just my face while I wait for the lovely lady to join me. They will be here very shortly. Hope everybody's having a lovely Wednesday so far. It's been hot where I am, and that has been difficult to cope with. I'm not going to lie to you. I've had a rough day dealing with the heat. I was in costume today at Hampton Court Palace, and it felt like Satan was licking my bum. I didn't enjoy it. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
I'm presuming you're talking about the heat.
Yes. Not my what I do on a Saturday.
We've gone nuclear. Oh well,
that's a different thing.
Yeah. It's probably still accurate.
Well, just waiting for Catherine to press her buttons. Well, not done the disclaimer yet. Got to sort my life out.
You won't let me send a request to Instagram.
We're just waiting for her.
I'm glad I'm not the last one today. I'm always the last one. I don't know why.
Hang on, it won't let her send a request. Interesting. Can I send one?
Yeah. You should be able to. Thank you, Pretty Pick. Yes. For those of you on Instagram, my tagline on YouTube is "My son finished his exams."
There we go. Yeah, he wouldn't let me resend request, but he let you. Oh, what am I doing here?
Sort your life out, mate. Sort your life out. Right, we're all here now.
We're all here.
So, do you know what? As I've already talked about Satan kissing my bum, let's just do the thing before we go any further, right?
Yeah.
Welcome. It's Wednesday. It's just gone 8:15. This is History After Dark. We call it that because it was winter when we made this. It's not now, but still the name fits because we are planning on doing some historical facts. We want to impart some knowledge, but while doing so, we are quite keen to be able to use 4-letter expletives, innuendos, general smut and filth. And we also want to be able to make really crass jokes, stuff that we can't do on our own platforms because, you know, we do those as PG-13, not here. With that being said, if you're in an open plan office with a judgmental boss, this is not the one to be playing on loudspeaker. Put a headphone in. If you are in a car, a kitchen, a bedroom, wherever you happen to be with a small child, that small child is called Timmy. Timmy, friends, is a problem. We've got merch.
I mean, I don't think so. Mine's just there gathering dust.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. Right, we'll deal with that in a second. Timmy's a problem. Timmy's a dobber.
Catherine's a problem.
Timmy is the sort of child that will overhear something. Timmy is the sort of child that will overhear something and will not say anything at the moment. They've got a mind like a steel trap. They will keep it. They will store it in their brain box. They will take it into school with them like a lovely, shiny turd, and they will tell their teacher this phrase. And their teacher won't know what it means because they don't listen to History After Dark. And so they also don't know the first cardinal rule of History After Dark, which is if you don't know what it means, don't Google it. So Miss Honey will Google it. And then you'll get a call up to school because now Miss Honey needs therapy and you're going to have to split the bill with her because of something that we've said. So just put a headphone in, or you can listen to us on the playback. I say that with caution. Mm-hmm. If we do say something that is so offensive, so borderline illegal, we will yeet this fish into the sun. We hold absolute rights to do that. If we're going to get ourselves in legal trouble, guys, you want us here next week, not in bracelets. So if we have to do that, we've done it once before. It might happen again. And if you're here live, then you'll see it. That's the first rule. The final rule of Fight Club, no, the other one, History After Dark, is that this is not a drinking game, friends. It's not a drinking game. You can play bingo all you like. Go for your life. We do if you want to drink, I'm assuming, please, God, you're all adults. If you do want to drink, that's on you. But we do not condone that message. With that being said, let's rate some Gits.
Someone put, let's get it on.
Let's get it on.
Very quickly, I want to say hello to Tasha and Alan's Disney adventures. I can't resist. I'm sorry. So I don't know if Tasha and Alan know this. I don't know how long you've been following us. And if you popped up in the comments or whatever before, I just haven't seen you and I'm really sorry. But one of my had nicknames is Princess or Disney Princess Tits. Yeah, I actually have a t-shirt that says Disney Princess Tits because I love Disney.
That's because you also have a t-shirt where your tits are Disney sparkly. Yeah.
With the Mickey head on and the ears.
The Mickey head.
Like
and then you sit there like with doing this.
like that,
with
because it does the sequin thing.
Yeah.
So you sit there
Changing
like
the colour.
You sit there groping yourself, basically.
Basically, that's the only reason I bought it.
I mean, I enjoy it.
Completely honest.
I enjoy it.
People are putting us to shame with the temperatures that they're enduring, by the way. We're
Loving it. Loving it.
28 to 30 here.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Those the houses they're in are built for that. They have air conditioning. Yeah. We live in a volcanic anomaly in the North Atlantic where approximately, apart from about 6 days out of the year, it shits it down with rain. And generally, and it's not just like this way. It's like horizontal. It's
we
vertical.
have had the rain as well this time, though, haven't we? We've had the heat and a lot.
Yeah,
of
my
rain.
washing was out in it.
My new furniture was
out. Yeah,
in
you
it.
upset about that.
I was very upset about it. I was surprised.
Big thanks to Chrissy over on YouTube.
Yeah,
Thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much.
Thank
you all for joining us as well.
Also, I keep saying, is this something not to Google? We keep writing, and notice this other week's pink hand waving. People are putting in.
Yeah, no, it's the emoji, but it doesn't put the emoji. It puts what the emoji code is.
I see.
So we see pink waving hands. The words.
You can understand.
Say, jazz hands. Yeah.
Jazz hands. Oh dear.
Dorothy wants
Paige,
to
can we borrow some of your rain? You can have my share of the rain.
Not right now. You can't. You can't have it right now. No, I
need it right now.
I need it, but it's.
Thank you, everyone, for your kind well wishes and about Isaac finishing his exams. Honestly, literally,
very exciting.
The happiest thing for a long time. So yeah. Susan, definitely keep cool. Last week was in hospital with a heart attack.
Oh wow!
You have to keep cool in all senses of the word.
Should you be here?
Yes.
My next question.
Was it? Did we do it? Did we do it?
Oh my God!
Did we do it? Was it us?
Was it us?
Were you listening to us at the time? Oh God, is it our fault? Oh shit! Oh, that's another thing. Like, take your blood pressure before you come and listen to us.
See, you say that I've run out of beta blockers and I forgot to go to the chemist and get my script.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
So, Catherine.
So if I pass out, you know why. One of you two message David.
Okay, we think she's
right.
Yeah,
that's rule number 3. Then seek medical advice before partaking in this.
Consult your doctor.
For us, consult your doctor before starting any HAD regimen.
Somebody works in the fitness industry, and Philippa, you'll know this as well. When you join a gym or something, you have to fill out something called a PARQ, a physical activity readiness questionnaire. One of the questions is, if you tick any of these things, you have to seek medical advice before you take part. We have to start issuing a PARQ now.
Yeah.
Or a HARQ, a HAD readiness.
HAD kit,
questionnaire. Yeah.
Oh, Susan, it's not our fault. Okay. Well, hopefully we will be a part of the remedy, and we're very glad that you're hopefully feeling better.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Hang on.
What? Hello.
Someone's put, do not take medical advice from the widows of Lancaster. Don't know where my widows of Lancaster is.
Oh, for goodness sake.
I mean, they will give it, but you don't have to take it.
Yeah.
Advice is a gift or whatever.
Yes.
You don't have to accept
it. It's not a commandment. Righty-tighty.
Right.
Lefty-loosey. Let's go.
Roundup week.
It is Roundup week.
It's Roundup week.
I like Roundup week.
Who remembers how the scoring works?
I actually think I do. I was going to say, yeah.
Me and Kat thank Lord for that.
Yeah. For each of the 4 candidates, we will score them on their personal life. So their level of gittishness on a scale of 1 to 10 in their personal life, their professional life, and their legacy. So we each of us have a score out of 10 to give for each of those categories for each of the people. So that means At the end of that, they have a score potential of 90. We will then turn to you, our wonderful peeps, hadders. What do we have? We need a name for
Mad
everyone.
Hatters. You.
And you will say yay or nay to whether they were culpable for their gittishness. And that will be a binary 10 for being culpable or a 0 for not being culpable. So that gives them a potential overall score of 100 points. They will
And
then
you get jingles.
league table. You get jingles tonight. Jingles tonight. Jingles tonight from the Jingle Queen herself.
Let's give it a go. I mean, I have got a bit of a sore throat. I'll do my best. I will do my best. Oh, I will. It's going to be no choice, mate. It's going to be no option.
Nice.
Sorry,
We're gonna
David's
enjoy
in
it.
here rummaging. Oh, have a look in that drawer.
What's he rummaging?
I think he's thank
The drawer,
you.
your drawers, is it? He's rummaging in your drawers. Oh, look at him. See, that's why you're keeping him. God bless you, David.
When he did it the other day, someone said, "Oh, was it Mr. Catherine?"
Mr. Catherine,
Mr.
yeah.
Catherine.
Yeah.
Mr. Catherine.
Dear.
Oh, Joe says Mad Hatters sounds like a t-shirt. Actually, we could do Mad Hatters t-shirts.
Do you know what? We should do like the Alice in Wonderland drawing with one of us as the March Hare, one of us as the Mad Hatter, and one of us as a Dormouse.
Does anyone do cartoony, caricatures? We need a caricature.
In my school play, I was the March Hare.
Oh,
you
that's
see,
it.
Kat, you are definitely the Mad Hatter. Philippa, you're going to be Alice because she's like quite sweet and innocent. And I'll be a little dormouse because that's just quite cute and I'm very alluring.
Well, who's the March Hare then?
Beaver.
Roger the Beaver. There we go. Okay, we're in. We're done. Phone our resident artist, Catherine. Get him
on the blower.
Tell him he's been commissioned to rip off somebody else's original artwork and put our marks on it.
He will be happy with that.
So we're starting with the lady herself.
So sorry, yes. So that the candidates for tonight are. So we're reviewing Sarah Churchill, first Duchess of Marlborough. I was actually at Blenheim Palace last week. I was at her pile. Richard Neville, Warwick, who's better known as Warwick the Kingmaker. William III, husband to Mary II, and Samuel Pepys. They are our Git candidates this evening.
CP Peeps.
Peeps. Very possibly.
All right.
So
then,
Sarah is our first one.
She certainly is. She is.
So
she is.
Let's talk about her personal.
We'll do personal life.
Yeah.
Christ almighty.
So Sarah Churchill, first Duchess of Marlborough. Interesting.
You know what? I'm going to come out of the gate for Sarah Churchill. I'm going to come out of the gate with my idea. You could debate this. I don't need to. I'll give you my score. When it comes to Sarah Churchill's private life, in terms of Git level, for me, it's a solid 10. She is a fucking domestic terrorist. She is an emotional terrorist. She is. Yeah. There is no winning with her. She leaves a wave of destruction in her wake. She is irredeemable.
Because part of me was thinking, well, obviously the same thing. I thought, and I'm only going to give her a 9 because no, listen to my reasoning. Because I was thinking there were some of her children and grandchildren she set up really good marriages for, etc., etc. So she looked after them, and I thought, yeah, but she did that for herself. She did that for herself at the end of the day. It wasn't like altruistic. And so basically we're just seeing, as a result, although she set up good marriages and she kept her family, so she's just basically introduced at least 2 generations of childhood trauma. So I'm a 10. Also a 10.
Okay, I am going to taper the 10s slightly for her relationship with her husband.
There is
who she remained faithful to, was incredibly in love with, did not remarry after he died, continued with Blenheim Palace, which was his project, not hers, and she hated it, in his memory, had him buried at the chapel there, and is buried with him. So I feel like it can't be a solid 10 because she did have that aspect to her. So
But do you think that maybe that with her husband, the reason why she did that with her husband is because he just did what she wanted,
No,
and when he didn't, she cut all her hair off.
Yeah, she had a temper, but no, she completed Blenheim in his memory, and when she was offered marriage, she sort of retorted with, I'm sorry, but basically, this is paraphrasing, you can't fill his shoes. There is no one who can fill his shoes.
But they didn't have to fill his shoes, they had to fill hers. Sorry, that was cool.
Not shoes, babe. That's if you're doing it.
But it wasn't the best euphemism.
That isn't where it goes,
that
babe.
wasn't the best euphemism.
You've got 2 kids. That isn't where it goes.
There was a poor attempt at euphemism for which I apologise.
Further north. Right.
Does she have any redeeming qualities?
Yeah, loads. But she's still a complete git. She's still a git. I would love to like watch her work. I don't want to be her friend.
Pretty Pick said, but he'd have died by then, and she liked dead people better. So had he lie?
She did, but
had he been alive and said, "Can you finish Blenheim for me?" She might have gone, "No,
no,
don't like it."
The people that she revered in death, she had not been nice to in life, whereas she had a good relationship with him in life.
Okay.
So that's my reasoning anyway. So I'm going to give her an 8 because the way she dealt with her children, the book is just hilarious.
Oh, it's wild.
although I've had, I can kind of, with slightly older children, I can kind of get where she's coming from with it. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to go for an 8.
So she's doing quite well. She's doing quite well in the old scores the doors.
Right, you two are sticking with your 10s. Okay, cool.
I'm sticking with my 10.
Yeah, I think so. I can't forgive childhood trauma.
Tez, charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. She certainly is. I'll see you next Tuesday. Certainly is.
Love it. Title of the book was, I can't remember.
The short title was The Green Book.
The Green Book, yeah.
I'm paraphrasing here, but essentially it was, here's all the reasons that my kids are wankers and have made me miserable, even though it's not me.
It
wasn't those exact words, but it was words to that effect.
There's an interview with Antonia Keeney on my YouTube channel, and she goes into the book in more detail, and she says the title there, but I can't remember. It's long.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just Google Sarah Churchill book about her kids, I'm sure
I can find it quickly. But yeah, that's safe to Google.
While we're doing that, shall we? Shall we slide into the professional
life? Interesting.
An account of the cruel and ill usage of my children.
There we go.
Catchy.
Yeah, see, professional life. It's kind of hard though, because because of her job, professional is personal. In a way.
Feel she's very gittish, actually. I would even maybe up my score here. She had her hands in the privy purse. She was a warmonger because it directly favoured her societal position and financial position. Now, I just don't like that at all. We see it continuing today. People who are making money out of other people's misery, and she was one of them. So I'm feeling 10ish, actually, for her on professional life.
I actually, when you put it that way, the fact that she influences the continuation of a war where people, and not people she knows, let's be clear about that, for the most part, it's going to be the most vulnerable people in the society who are losing everything. Just
they're either being taxed,
she can get something new,
or they're physically in danger.
Just for her to get more baubles and for her to climb the greasy pole, that is objectively disgusting. I'm going to go 10 again, because fuck her, that's why.
Yeah. Catherine, I'm a 10.
The only reason I'm contemplating a 9 rather than a 10 is because part of her job was to make good marriages for her children, and she sometimes did that. So that bit of it, she did very well. So I'm going to go 9. She's still a prick, but just in terms of that part was something that she was meant to do, and she did it well.
She did that. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah. I'm not saying it was fun. I'm just saying.
No, but it was. She needed. If she hadn't have done it well, that would have been worse. So she needed to do it.
Yes.
Okay, legacy then.
Ooh.
Having visited Blenheim only last week, she has left an incredible. Well, it's a World Heritage Site now. Yeah. She has left that for the world, it seems. Got to give us some credit, I think, for that.
I think
what else did she do?
It's weird because in the same way that she treated people better when they were dead, I kind of like her better, like her afterlife. yeah. Like the things that she, the example she sets. Like, do I think that she had to behave the way she did? No, but at the same time, that kind of, you know, just fucking politeness, just like fuck politeness, fuck being nice. I'm gonna that bloody minded. I suppose the question I ask myself is, would we be talking about if there was like if William Cecil threw tantrums, would we even know about it? If he was like a massive tantrum throwing nutter, would we know he was throwing it? Or do we hear about Sarah Churchill's tantrums because it's somehow a sign of her feminine frailty? Is my question. I think there's a part of me that thinks that when you get to those echelons of power, being a bit of a dick kind of comes with the territory, maybe.
I mean, she survives a literal regime change from the end of Anne into the Hanoverian period begins, and she still does not give a shit. She still is like, this is me, this is what I'm doing, and you can all go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, I think Cecil was possibly a little bit more tactful.
He was a politician. She, I don't think, was as much. I can imagine Cecil's quite a diplomat. He, you know, oh, what a great idea that he's planted in someone else's head, kind of thing. Yeah. Whereas Sarah Churchill is just full bull at a gate.
Yeah,
take me or leave me. I might leave you first anyway. I've got to admire that a little bit.
A bit like Earl of Essex, then, in that way. A bit like the Earl of Essex.
Yeah, that don't end
we don't
well.
really hear about him throwing tantrums, do we? So much. It's just interesting, I think. I think there are people who exist around kings and queens that are like that.
I suppose cutting off your hair is pretty like notable, though.
Yeah, that is a bit. That's a statement.
That's like if a bloke had done that, they would notice. That would be, I imagine, noted upon. Like eating your own bed with with William Rufus or whatever. So I don't know. I don't think so necessarily. I think I
suppose, how much damage did she leave in her wake? Like nationwide.
See, that's a fair point. I don't. Well, I don't know, in terms of the war, it's hard to quantify how much damage that did, isn't it? It's hard for us to say, really, how much of a worse state the country was left in if that period of conflict hadn't existed.
But any war puts a country into debt. Any war at any time puts a country well into debt.
So she was there from the Glorious Revolution. That war that was happening in Europe is, you know, as with all wars, they're decades in the making. Did she essentially kind of keep pushing so that her position could increase? Yes. Did she start the war? No.
And also, could we come to, so we use the argument here, there is a parallel, I'm not banging on about Henry VIII again, there is a parallel, because we always say about Henry VIII, yes, Anne Boleyn did some really shitty stuff to Catherine and Mary, but she couldn't have got away with it if he hadn't met her. So at the end of the day, and the Queen, could Sarah have really got away with what she did if Anne hadn't let her? Now, I really see, so that again makes me think a little bit, obviously Sarah was very manipulative and domineering, and Anne was under an enormous quantity of pressure and suffered a lot of personal tragedy. So it's easy to be vulnerable in that position. still a monarch at the end of the day. So do we have to look at Anne a little bit and say, love, you should have just like shoved her off a precipice or something?
Anne was a bit weak. It's Anne who starts to say, do we really need to be in this war still? Am I still bankrolling this? How come England's bankrolling this for France and whatever as well? Don't really get it. And she continues to try and push it until Anne actually takes her a while, but works out, hang on, no, this isn't good. And of course their relationship breaks down when Anne, I think, works out how manipulative or she feels Sarah's been. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, in terms of legacy,
it gives us an interesting insight into the relationship with monarchs and favourites, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It gives us something else to think about. And, you know, in
terms of, I mean, I don't think her legacy is that Gittish to me. Maybe like a 4. It's a bit like meh.
5.
I'm going to go 5. Yeah, 5. Okay, so
Raven said that, obviously it's talking about the rain earlier, it's a bad time for her because her basement's flooded.
Oh no, that's awful.
It's a euphemism.
But it wasn't until you just made it, for fuck's sake.
It's
and I don't know why you're looking at me like that, Kat, because the first person I ever heard use that was you.
I don't know what you mean.
Anyway, Raven, I hope your plumbing is sorted soon. Your actual plumbing.
So they do plumbing. Right. I need to try and do addition.
Philip is doing her mathematics.
Yeah.
Raven, are you okay, Kat?
I just ate my own lips, so well, there we go. Yes. Well, I mean, flood your basement. Of course you do. Why not? We are.
That's Serena. Who's got a ginger minge? Right, no, right, sorry.
What?
Someone's just written La Serena Seguia, just written ginger minge.
Not me, honest Gov.
Not me either.
Okay. You know, we had the discussion about not having to read out all the comments. I think maybe that one.
That's just a bit like, what? Okay.
Right, we need to do the culpability score. Yes.
Yes.
Have you warmed up?
So we're gonna put
I need a scoring bit of paper.
Right, here's the thing. On YouTube and Instagram, it's a Y for culpable, it's an N for not culpable. There's going to be 30 seconds on the clock. The second I start my jingly wingly, I want you to start putting your letters in the commenty-womenties, right? So we're about to kick off. It's gonna start. Are they culpable? Did she really mean it? Y is for they are. N is for they're not. Are they culpable? Did they mean it or not? Could she even help it? Are they culpable? Say yes or no for culpable. We've got still so much time. The jingle is carrying on. 10 seconds more for the jingle time. We're going to have a pick. Is it yes or no? Lots of Y's coming up. I think she might be culpable. That's it.
That's it. The end. We have they're just all wise.
Hammer time. Okay, there's obviously a delay on Instagram because they've only just started coming in, but they're all yeses. So
they're all yes. Yeah, they're all yes on YouTube. So that's the 10.
Tens across the board.
Yeah. So 6, 7, 8, 9.
I mean, to be honest, if you said no, then you're obviously some massive narc yourself. So someone's just
come. We don't diagnose people. This is not medical diagnosis.
Literally, it's like I said that someone's put no on YouTube.
Sorry.
I mean, clearly that was a joke, obviously.
The heat has frazzled my brain. You know when you do it. Oh,
maths is hard. 3. Maths is really hard.
2, 3, 6 is 9. Oh no, that's right. Yeah. It's okay. It's all right. I've worked out what I've done wrong. Okay, so she got a score of 71 from us, a score of 10 for culpability. That gives her a score of 81.
Not bad. Not too shabby on the gift front there.
Not too
I thought it was
shabby
going to be higher than
on
that. That's
the
good, though.
gift front.
Her
I can see where
legacy
she is on the
let her
league
down, picked her up. I don't know.
Right. Is it time for word of the week?
Oh, yeah. Do it.
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
doing
you're
word of
going to
the week,
like
so
it.
We all know what that means. Can. All right. Here's my word of the week. I'm happy with this one. My word of the week is where is it? Oh, here we go. It is a bum brusher.
I don't know what it is, but I love it already.
Also, a phlebotomist. A syntax.
Phlebotomist.
No.
Phlebotomist.
A phlebotomist. A syntax. A tickle-tail caper merchant.
Are these all related then?
I mean, this obviously sounds like some sort of sex dungeon equipment.
It sounds gruesome, flaying your bum.
Go back. Don't take caper merchant out. It's just it ends with tickle-tail. So bum brusher, phlebotomist.
BDSM enthusiasts.
Bum brusher, phlebotomist, syntax, and tickle-tail. You send your child to one.
I nearly said something that was very naughty then.
We still send our children to them.
Some sort of school?
Indeed, yes. That is a word for a schoolmaster.
Oh, wow.
Pretty pick, poor Timmy.
Timmy deserves it. Yeah.
Timmy's a prick.
Timmy wouldn't be Timmy if they're allowed to play children still.
These all sounds like terms for pimps or male pimps of male prostitutes.
Wow,
Rebecca, kindergarten, question mark. Wow.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Right.
You are welcome.
Just, yeah.
I think it's about caning kids. A phlebotomist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
They did used to best the children. Yes.
Right.
Wow.
Right then, let's move on.
Slater was doing his tongue. Wow.
Correct. There we go.
In the heat.
So, shall we talk about Richard Neville?
Yeah. Warwick,
I quite like Richard Neville. I don't think he's going to score that high.
Less Gittish than I was expecting.
Yeah, sadly ungittish. We start. We're going to start with personal life.
Let's start with personal life.
I'm inclined to go low unless you ladies can give me a reason as to why not.
I mean, the thing is he made both his daughters were given marriages that really did not for him. They were all about furthering the cause in the Wars of the Roses. Now, they were also good marriages, technically, because one was to the king's brother, and then the other one was to the deposed king. Yeah. So you could argue that these were fantastic marriages, but they weren't made for the right reason. We know that you can marry your daughters off for political reasons. We get that. That's not unusual. But this is supposed to be for making alliances and things like that. It's not supposed to be, well, this is where we are with this continuous civil war bullshit. I'm going to do that. And he was doing it a lot of the time just to be defiant, you know, you know, so they were good marriages. I would not say that Isabel had a happy marriage with Clara. And apparently really did not want to marry Edward, the Prince of Wales. It's hard to say, isn't it? How true that is or isn't, but we kind of dragged her along, and then she ended up with Richard III. So you know, potato. I don't know if he was much cop as a husband or not.
Hard to tell. I haven't seen anything in either. He's at war a lot, which could be a bonus.
Yeah,
he's not about much. That could be a good thing.
Yeah. So
it's like they have to marry someone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he was like in terms of.
You don't hear of him, you know,
I don't think he was a massively attentive father either.
But then to make those marriages, there's a fair level of attention. Bearing in mind, like, that it must have been slim fucking pickings because the Woodville women did have most of the other.
True.
So, in terms of like, and he did take risks. Like both of those marriages, they were the best marriages he could make, even though doing so was like treason.
I don't think I can rate him very Gittish.
No.
I can't see anything.
4?
Yeah, we don't really know much about his other familial relationships either, do we? He worked well with his father until his cousin and his brother until they all got squished because of the Wars of the Roses.
Yeah.
4.
I'm going to go. You go 4. I'm going to go 3. Cool. Professional life.
Well, now.
Turncoat.
He is a turncoat.
But
understandably
a turncoat. But being a turncoat's not cute.
Yes.
Regardless, even though he's not cause.
It's not.
I mean, it did a lot of damage.
But it's pragmatic.
Yeah. I do also think that using a profoundly mentally unwell man as a pawn in your power struggles, and then leaving him in a vulnerable position whereby his life is ended is objectively gross.
It absolutely 100% is. The only thing I will say in defense of that is that mental health was viewed so differently back then. I think there would have been much less of a conception of what Henry was going through and how.
The thing is, they do have a conception of what's going on with him. They would have seen him as being an innocent.
Yeah,
that's what they would have referred to him. If he hadn't been king, he'd have been a natural fool, somebody who it was their job to protect and care for as a God-ordained necessity. Like they might not have known how to treat him, like cure him. They might not have known how to diagnose him. But let's be very, very clear: they absolutely had a concept of what he was, and that was somebody who required preservation and protection, like a child. So,
yeah, it's not taking advantage like we would think of it. No.
Yeah. I don't see. Now I think it would be viewed differently than it was back then. We see the cruelty of exploiting the severely mentally unwell. I don't think they did.
I don't think they exploited him though, in that way. I mean, he is what he is. He's king by birth, right? And therefore that is the situation everyone is dealing with.
Yeah.
It has to be dealt with because he is the king.
But I think did Floyd exploit his weakness to get him back on top though? He knew that Henry couldn't get himself back on the throne, and so Warwick realised the only way that he could come back into any sort of level of power was to create a place for Henry, and Henry couldn't do that on his own. So I think, if Henry had been a strong king like Edward was, and it had basically come down to the show off between two kings out of strength, Warwick had been acquired. Henry wouldn't. I do think that he used Henry's weakness and inability to function in order to find his way back into power again. Because when you see Henry II back on the throne, Henry VI back on the throne, it is so obvious that Warwick is in charge at that point. And Warwick knew that. He knew he would be able to manipulate Henry VI while he was back on the throne. So he can stand back and go, oh, the House of Lancaster, and I've restored the rightful king. Yay me, here he is. But there are accounts written even by Lancastrians just to say that this guy was confused, he was tired, he was exhausted. He didn't have all his full capabilities to run court and govern the country. So it had to be done by the people behind him. And everyone knew who that was, and Warwick knew it would be him. So at that point, I do think he manipulated Henry for his own ends, because I can't think that he suddenly woke up one morning and thought, shit, what am I doing supporting the House of York? Quick, best make that right.
Yeah. I think it's also worth pointing out that, he may have been born the rightful king, and thus Edward IV is a usurper, but he claim the throne by right of conquest. He's also the rightful king. And bearing in mind what the requirements of medieval kingship, there's just no way that anyone thinks that when Henry VI is as unwell as he got, that he can be a king in the medieval mode. Like, he's not going to lead armies into battle. That's just not going to happen. And to expect it and to position him in that way is cruel, I think.
But was Warwick after power for himself? It was that just the position he found himself in because he was basically not in with the York side anymore, and therefore they didn't really have much choice. And there is Edward, Prince of Wales, coming up, who is not long off being able to potentially rule instead of his father, if his father could abdicate. So was it?
I mean, I think it's just a bit of a big thing to do. That ultimately, this, to me, the root of this is the marriage to Elizabeth Woodville. This feels like a little bit of an overreaction. That the kind of the germ of this turncoatness is that your best mate marries a girl you don't like. I mean, fucking chill out,
But he was
mate.
humiliated, wasn't he? That's what it was. It was pride. His pride was broken.
Yes, and when you put it that way, that kind of makes it grosser.
Yeah.
Right. So
it embarrassed him.
Do you have any scores?
We need scores.
What are we scoring? I forgot.
Professional life, gittishness. I'm gonna go
8.
I'm gonna go 7.
7.
Okay. Legacy.
Oh, huge.
Huge legacy. It's got a huge legacy.
Legacy. Well, yes and no. Only because I think I argued at the time how when we did the room, and I can't go all through that again. So if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. But just how I think how much he influenced the Wars of the Roses and changed the course of it, and the underlying and consequential. The words are nearly as hard as the numbers. Yeah, basically he affected the Wars of the Roses a lot more than it looks like it did on the surface. I think we can attribute a lot more, and then the knock-on effect even after that with the usurpers, etc., and going right up into the Poles and everything in the Henrican regime. So I think we talk about him a lot. He's a major player in the Wars of the Roses as the Kingmaker. There was potentially a lot more that could have happened whether he lived or he died. There was, if he lived, there were a whole other set of major things that we'd had different lines of kingship and stuff like that. Very possibly no Tudors. So you will have to go back and watch my ramblings on that to make that make sense. But so I think his legacy is actually quite huge.
Well, I mean, also
fucking huge.
Because of him, we have the Poles.
Yeah, exactly.
Margaret Pole, except Reginald Pole, all of that kind of stuff, they exist because of the illegal marriage he made. And when you think about what Margaret and her son do, what the Poles are involved in terms of shaping the Tudor world, like that's a big bollocks. Mm-hmm. Is it Gittish though?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a massive legacy. But is it a bad legacy? I'd probably say not.
I'm feeling indifferent.
In many ways, the kind of his interference and his kind of turncoatiness means that more fuckers die in the Wars of the Roses, thus making the rise of the Tudors a whole fuckload easier. Shit ton of people are killed off. So there are less.
It's a massive legacy, but as you say, how much of it was sort of intentional?
Oh, well, no, how much of it is bad?
He's playing the cards he's dealt. It's already it's a conflict that begins way before.
But then having said that, whatever he did, he was always out to make a massive impact. He was always out to, so whenever he did anything, he did it to go big, go hard or go home. So I think whether he meant to have some of the impacts that he did, he still came in to make him to go, to have a huge impact. So he was always sort of going for the big, go hard or go home. Yeah, I don't know.
But not Gittish. I don't think the legacy's Gittish.
I'm going to go middle of the road.
It's like a 2.
Okay.
It's like a 2 for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
It literally, if he hadn't been a turncoat, then can you imagine if Henry VI's son hadn't come back to fight? If he had been alive in exile in France, then what happens? What, Henry Tudor takes the throne, and then there's still a better Lancastrian claimant? What, are those two going to fucking fight it out? What's happening? What's happening there? The war would have gone on. The fact that he turns coat means that this shit ends, unless innocent people get their lives fucking ruined by rich wankers who can't get on with their cousins.
But does it end? Because if you leave Edward there as a very strong king, which he was and continued to be when he came back, and then he died and it all went a bit wrong. If he hadn't done what he did then and interceded and got Henry back on the throne for that short period, there is no other potential real reason why Edward wouldn't continue with a strong, solid, firm kingship. How much of a prick we might think he was, and he was pissing off some of his nobles and bits and pieces, but nothing that probably would have led to anything sizable apart from some grumbling. So who's to say we wouldn't have got to the end of Edward's life, and then you may have had all the princes, depending on that. We can't say, but there's no reason to think if Warwick hadn't have left it, we wouldn't have just had stable kingship.
But then there's still Henry VI's son. That's never going away. That's never going away.
So that would have come along again. Because he was war ready.
Do with Warwick then, though, would it?
No, but Warwick's turncoatiness is the reason why Henry VI's son comes back to England and dies in battle. Otherwise, he'd be in France alive, breeding like a fucking rabbit.
Did we not think Edward would have had him mysteriously disappeared as well?
He'd have to get hold of him. He couldn't get hold of Henry Tudor.
Yeah.
He wanted Henry Tudor, couldn't get hold of him. Nah, mate.
Right then, let's score him. So Kat's gone for a 2. Catherine.
I'm going to give him 5.
5. Okay, I'm going 3. Right, culpability, peeps. This is where you come in.
So we're going to go now. Is he culpable? Please say yes or no. It's a Y for yes, unsurprisingly. It's an N for no. Did you guess? Is he culpable? Put it in the comments. Did he really mean it? Or was he just an accident? Let us know what you think. If you think he is, that's an extra 10. If you think he's not, it will be a 0. This jingle's very long, and I am going to stop.
Oh, we actually do have a bit of a split vote here.
I've got a massive delay on Instagram, so you're going to have to let it catch up. Yeah, they've all
suddenly come in one go, so...
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone, while we count.
Don't do that. That'll get picked up.
Whoa.
If you hum it, you get dinged for that. Don't do it.
Good
They'll ding you for it.
God.
Yeah, don't hum it.
Oh, really?
Copyright, friends.
If we say what it is, then would that let us off copyright? Because we did mention blankety blank when you did the thing to blankety blank.
What I'll tell you here and now is that whoever owns the copyright for the thing with the clock, having tried to use it, they are on it like white on rice. On it like a carb on it. Like warm pea down your leg out.
We have about 30 yeses and about 10 no's. So the yeses have it on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, the yeses have it here as well.
Okay.
The eyes have it. So that's a 10 then.
So his overall score is a 53.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Fair, actually. Fair. Now, as we've got 2 more to go, are we going to leap straight into numero tres, or are we going to widow?
Let's do that. Then we'll widow. Then we'll do Samuel Pepys, and then I'll do a little where everyone is in the league table if I can work it out that quickly.
Boom. Okay, let's do William of Orange then.
Okay, let's be quicker. Right. William, personal. He did have me at the staying by his wife's bedside while mind you, he blubbered, which annoyed her, but while
Well,
she was
it's really
suffering
important
from
that you support family,
smallpox.
as they are cousins. So
Yes,
They were
yeah.
literally first cousins.
it's very important that you're there for your family.
But he was there a little bit less for his father-in-law.
Oh well, yeah.
Uncle, you mean his uncle? His uncle.
Who was also
Well, no,
his
his
father-in-law.
uncle. It was. Hang on.
There,
Yeah.
Yep. Uncle
Yeah.
Daddy.
Uncle, father-in-law. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I think
we can't up the Git score for incest. He didn't do it. He was made to do it, but still,
he didn't do it. But the deposing your own father-in-law stroke uncle is.
Although he was under an awful lot of pressure for an awful lot of time to do it.
Yeah,
and
but
his
he
cousin
could have
wife,
stayed.
who was his daughter, was like, "That's fine. Let's do that."
Yeah.
She was like, "Yeah, let's go get my dad." So, to be fair,
yeah, it wasn't like he went out with a personal vendetta.
Here's my question: the shit they do to Hampton Court,
I'll see.
is that personal?
No, I'm going to put that in legacy. I'd put that in legacy. I would, but
yeah, I would put that in legacy as well.
Okay,
we can discuss that.
on the one hand, good, but on the other hand, fuck you, Bill.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, I like it. Anyway, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Right, sorry.
We'll get there.
Sorry.
So personal, I think he has to be quite good. Nice to his wife, not nice to his sister-in-law. Certainly not nice to his father-in-law, uncle. Yeah.
So he's nice to one person, is what we're hearing.
I know, but I still there's a lot of pressure put on the uncle and other.
Yeah, but from afar, he doesn't have to. I mean, he's in a different country. He's in. Yeah. He's not here. He's not having to feel that pressure. He could just go there, fuck off, in a letter, not even an email. Doesn't even have to deal with it. Just
carry a pigeon.
Yeah.
Right, hang on. 6.
I'm going 7. Catherine?
Was some of it as well to get one over on Louis as well? How much of it was that?
He was obsessed by Louis.
Weirdly
obsessed by Louis.
Caring about his father-in-law or England, how much of that was the Louis thing?
Like, I almost feel like, William, if you want to just Louis, do you know what I mean? Just go over there, take some bonbons, be like, Louis, gobble, gobble.
Bonbon. Gobble, gobble. Louis.
Okay, I'm going to go 6 then.
Okay, professional life then.
He was a very gifted, talented military type of person. In all aspects of the military typeness.
I'm going to say one word, and that word is island.
Yeah.
And whatever his fucking intention was, that shit is not his fault, but he didn't fucking help in a big way, and he's still not fucking helping.
No.
Well, in fairness, he's fairly dead at this point.
He is fairly dead.
But his bullshit legacy lives on.
That's legacy. Yeah. So you want to put that in his professional life?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I would.
We can do, yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, it's legacy.
It goes a little bit of, you're rebellion at the time, so that goes in professional life, doesn't it?
But not as much of a bellend at the time as transpired after the fact.
Yeah. I mean, it was a bloodless resolution and revolution.
I mean,
I know. But what I'm saying is if you compare it to the other thing that we were talking about just now, the Wars of the Roses, and some of the other stuff, then comparatively.
He came with an army. I mean, he wasn't he wasn't taking any chances. No. It was a definite, we come in peace unless you try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you'll be in pieces.
And then
yeah.
So, as kind of invasions go, reasonably tidy.
I hate the propaganda of it, glorious revolution. I actually detest that phrase. It was glorious for who? I mean, again, the elites, and not all of them, because they're basically ousted. I mean, they brought in someone to get rid of someone else and get more power. So Parliament ends up with more power. You know, they bring in someone who really isn't that interested in ruling, actually. So,
I mean, he didn't even touch any sores. Like half the job, mate. You have to go and touch the scrofula.
Yeah.
I want you to lick a blister. Did you? No, lazy. Lazy.
So he's kingship.
If you
they do, they get rid of
if you are not prepared, if you're not prepared to come eyeball to eyeball with a leprous canker, you're no king of mine. You're just half-arsing it, you lazy bugger.
Yummy.
I'm going
to
go.
Basically, what we're saying, professional life, it was a bit rubbish.
A bit more of
9.
a git. Yeah. Oh, gosh,
9.
9. That's high. Okay. I'm
only because he won't touch a sore. I want him poking a blister.
I'm going 8 because I don't like the...
I too am going 8.
Yeah, I don't like the giving away power to people because they said so. Right, okay. Right. Legacy then. Right, so this is going to be higher.
Yeah. Right. So
I cannot add up tonight.
I mean, if you like horses, there was some great portraiture with horses in, because he was dead short, so he tended to have his portraits with him sat on a horse seat to make him look bigger.
Yes. I have some questions.
I hate horses.
Where is Elizabeth I's bedchamber?
Not there anymore, Kat.
Why isn't it there? Where did Elizabeth I sleep? Tell me. And where is it? And why isn't it there? Whose fault is that? Pricks.
I've got a feeling you're annoyed. I like Hampton Court Palace.
Look, I love Hampton Court. I love Hampton Court.
For the way it is.
There's a fuckload of land there, mate. Build next door, you prick. Leave it alone. Build next door. Fuck you.
I feel like they would have felt about a Tudor palace, though, like we feel about 1960s concrete.
I fully get that. But it must have been more, with the amount of fucking land they had, it must have been more work to tear that shit down and rebuild it.
People died actually building that as well. Died and then got buried under the floor.
Just
next door, babe. Next door.
James says on Instagram, but the tulips are so pretty. They are.
They are.
Martha, I hate horses. Okay. I do hate horses, Martha.
William ended up hating horses as well. Well, moles more.
Moles.
Clearly.
Yeah. White Sorrel's my home girl.
I mean,
that shit.
So Cat likes that horse at least.
It's embarrassing.
Oh, I like horses. When I was a kid, I went to horse riding camp.
Camp?
Wow. Did you?
It sent me away for a week. Oh, yeah.
I went to band camp.
Oh!
We're going to talk about that later. We'll talk about that later.
Anyway, bit
so I'm angry about that. Film. I'm angry about it. Even though I like Hampton Court and I wouldn't be without the palace, I still want it there. I want that
next.
But I also want the Tudor palace.
Bit. I mean, that's not unreasonable at all,
right? Extend further out. Just go right. We'll keep the Tudor stuff, and then just build Versailles if you want, so you can mind fuck Louis, but just fucking put it out the back.
Yeah. Put it out the back.
They could have completed Greenwich for that. And they didn't. They made it into the Royal Naval College. But that was they could have completed that. They didn't.
Pretty shame. Hang on a minute. Intrepid Frady Cat. My grandparents had horses. One bit me. That's because horses are wankers.
Did you say my current parents? Where was that?
Grandparents.
Grandparents.
Grandparents. Sorry.
They're her old parents, not her current ones.
I'm switching them out.
Right.
Okay.
Thoughts?
And Ireland.
I did horse therapy as a child. Wow.
Thoughts?
Don't Google Bandcamp. Right. Okay. Let's do it. Okay. Legacy score. Go, girls.
9.
I think I'm going to go 9. Catherine.
8.
Okay, culpability then. That was hard. That was hard work.
It was.
Okay.
I'm sorry you had to witness that.
I thought maybe you were farting.
Oh my goodness.
That was unnecessarily difficult.
Right. Culpability. Peeps. Cat. You're on.
There's a minute on the clock. Is he culpable? Did he mean the
Old
things?
school.
Are they actually his fault? It's a Y for yes, unsurprisingly. It's an M for no, did you guess? Is he culpable? Put it in the comments. 30 seconds on the clock. How bad is he really? Is it all his fault? Or was it just an accident? Tell us what you think of William of Orange. He fucked his cousin. He fucked his cousin. Definitely. Fucked his cousin. Quite a lot. Is he culpable?
God.
On top of the cousin fucking head.
Oh, my life. Mine is still coming through, but they're all yeses so far.
Yeah, I think we've got all yeses.
He meant it, including the cousin fucking. He meant it all.
It's a good job they didn't have. Oh no, I shouldn't say that. I won't say that. That might get us yeeted.
All right. Okay.
Well, you can put it in the private chat.
I'll put it in the
Me
private
and Kat
chat.
want to know what it is now.
We'll talk about it afterwards. Because in the private chat, we'll piss ourselves laughing. You know we will. So we'll talk about it afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
just yeses this end.
yeses.
No no's.
Okay. So we have a 10. So that gives him an overall score of 80. That's high.
That is high.
That's very
I'm
high.
surprised.
He's only one below Sarah Churchill.
This surprises me.
I mean, he actually went to war. Like, unlike Sarah Churchill, who did not actually go to war.
He got a 988 for professional and a 998 for legacy, and a 676 for personal. Excuse me. So we've been harsh on the Orange Man.
Yeah.
It's
There you
warm.
go.
It's warm. So that's what happens.
It is
Sometimes
warm.
It's
it's
warm.
sunny.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Look, right.
Yeah, the island factor.
You get
is
scored by the judges you get, and today you've got judges who are a bit spicy.
And
That's
hot.
it. That's
it.
That's what it is. There is going to be no recounts.
I still think we were
All
a
votes
bit
are final.
generous. I think maybe the first week and a bit harsh.
We might have
maybe
kept
the
our powder
second
dry.
time, but
Come the
it
end
is
of
what it
the
is.
end of this, it's
It
going to
is
be
what it is.
a white knuckle ride.
Right. We've got to do some PPPs now.
Oh, no, you're going to make me wear the thing, aren't you?
Yes.
Yep. Today.
Do I have to put the veil on my?
Yep.
Yes. Christ, every week, woman.
Whinging.
Stop
Drink
whining.
tea.
Stop your fucking whining. Drink your
whinging.
tea. Well, are we alluring?
Just a question: Do we have a pass?
We do.
Post bag?
Oh,
good. Because otherwise,
no, let's just take them.
otherwise
No,
we
we're
look
just
like complete
dressing like this for no
fucking dickheads.
reason.
And we
Welcome
already
to
do look
Lancaster.
like complete dickheads. It's irrelevant to what's in the past.
These are very warm tonight.
So we had, yeah, got a couple.
The widows of Lancaster are here. Right.
And
We're going to give the advice whether you...
not married and having imaginary sex with dead monarchs. Dear History After Dark ladies, my brother has a literal hair-trigger temper. He's already challenged and fought duels with several other gentlemen.
Oh dear.
I know. Obviously, the frequent dueling is extremely dangerous, but much worse, it has wreaked havoc on my family's social life. I'm nearing the end of my first London season, and I haven't had a single serious suitor propose after my brother scares them off. I'd rather not have to marry our second cousin in order to secure the title and estates after he gets himself killed. How can I get my brother to stop this nonsense? Sincerely, done up with the dueling sister.
Right.
Thank you, pretty Pick. It's getting on my tits now.
I missed the last bit. Sorry, my signal must have
How can I get my brother to stop this nonsense?
Oh,
right.
Nonsense.
Okay, I've got a plan.
I'm all over this now.
Sister, what you need to do is cross-dress. This is going to be a long game.
I think I see where this is going.
As a boy, right? Then what you need to do is challenge your brother to a duel. Create an offence. Slap that motherfucker with a glove and demand satisfaction. What you're going to need to do, though, is picking whatever dueling he wants. I'm assuming he's a rapierist rather than a pistoler, because pistols tend to be inaccurate. depending on what time you're pistoling. But let's say when you go to fight him, what you need to do is the only way to help your marriage prospects, take your rapier, drag it through the gutter, right? And then when you punch holes in him, that's going to send the infection through. Even if you won't kill him in the fight, you rarely die in the fight, but he will die of infection 3 days later. And then when you exit morning, everyone looks good in black. Look at us. When you exit morning, you will have a whole panoply of gentlemen who are looking to date you because they couldn't get near you before on account of your brother being a massive swordy psycho. And they won't know it's you that did the psycho killing because you will be cross-dressed. But if they ever fuck with you when you're married to them, you can let them know. Win-win.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay. I think that could be a winner, actually.
I mean, I was just going to say kill him, or so. Yeah,
just basically dispose of him yourself in some capacity.
I mean, it's just tiring. You're like, come on, just get on with it. Unless, of course, he's going to start making some big money out of winning all the time. But if that's not a possibility, then what's the point? Silly.
Yeah, I mean, unless you can put it to some sort of, as you say, money-making scheme, it sounds like he's fairly disposable.
Yes.
But yeah, so I think basically, it's just annoying. It's on my face. A summary of this is basically dress yourself up like a gentleman, challenge him to the duel. He'll be all over it because he likes that type of thing. And then sadly run him in and everyone will go, oh no, oh you poor thing. And all the men will go, widow. And you'll get
no sister, no, it's not that.
Oh no, sister. Sorry, yes, sister. Eligible young lady.
Fucking hell, Lannister, chill out. Fuck.
Yeah. And
we talk about one cousin fucker, and then you're like, let's put siblings together, Ptolemy. So, Jesus.
Eligible young lady. We think she's worth a punt, and you'll have them lining up, and you can pick whichever one you like best, really. Yeah. And as you say, and as Kat says, you know, if they turn out to be a prick later on, go look.
I'll stab you up.
If they say, oh, no one's going to believe you, say no.
Yeah.
Fuck about and find out.
Yeah, fuck around and find out. The other alternative is, of course, arsenic.
Yeah.
A little bit of arsenic.
Cheap,
little
quick.
Sort of arsenic.
Cheap, quick. You can do the grieving sister thing. It's very sad.
You can.
It doesn't require cross-dressing and fighting a duel as well.
But that's where the fun lives.
For the lols.
Ladies, I'm getting hot. Let's go.
Philippa, you are hot.
Thanks, darling.
Can I take it off now?
You can.
Right, there we go. Woo! Till next week.
Till next week. Send in your past problems to our post bag. Catherine, do you want to tell them the address?
Yes. So, especially if you're on Instagram, it's scrolling on the screen on the YouTubes, but it is History After Dark 2021 at gmail.com. So send in your past problems post bags to History After Dark 2021 at gmail.com. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
And,
right then.
You know, because you never know when this invaluable advice might make the difference between life, death, saving the planet, protecting the universe.
All of these things.
Especially somebody else's death, not yours, usually. Usually the answer that I give is kill them.
Well, that's basically. So if you miss it 1 week or we don't read yours out, that's probably just the solution.
Think about how
you don't have to take that, of course.
Yeah. Also, there's an element of sort of being hypothetical about this and maybe not actually.
Oh yeah, obviously, I'm not saying murder is illegal, ladies and gentlemen. Just in case you weren't aware, I don't condone or support or actually suggest that you do a real life murder. Arsenic is much harder to get hold of in the 21st century. It used to be in face powder in the 19th. So I don't know. Just don't kill people unless you can get away with it. No, I didn't say that.
I think we should move on. Let's do smeeps, peeps, beeps,
peeps, CPP, creepy, yuck.
Yeah. Okay, the diarist Samuel Pepys. Let's go. Personal life. Oh.
Well, now.
He marries a 14, 15-year-old. He does stay married
can't keep
to
his
her.
fucking hands to
But
himself.
he can't keep his hands to himself.
Yeah, he can't keep his. He's a
bit
groper.
gropey.
He's a gropey groper. Yuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yuck. He uses the word cunny.
Everyone used the word cunny.
Yeah, but I don't like it.
You don't like it.
But I don't
You
like
use worse.
Nah. I say cunt. I just don't like cunny.
Oh my God, she said the C word.
She did.
You're right.
I don't like it.
This might be a yeet to this one. We might have to.
We can't yeet roundup week. We can't yeet roundup week. Tez doesn't like it either. See, personal. I mean, he could be.
I said can't. Yeah.
Very supportive friend. Is he sometimes a supportive friend?
Yeah.
When? Who?
Like if you asked, didn't he help someone bury their stuff?
No.
Oh, he did. Yeah,
he brought
did
his
in the
own fucking
fire.
parmesan.
Yes, but he was also taking in someone else's at the same time.
Because he wanted 2 parmesans. He hoped he's going to die. He's going to get 2 parmesans for the price of 1. Parmesan's expensive.
I'm sure there were times when he was a good friend. Yes.
I just thinking in relative terms to other Gits. I don't know.
There is also that.
I'm just going to necrophilia.
Well, he kissed a dead queen. I wouldn't. Yeah.
How many corpses have you tongued? Because I can tell you it's fucking 0 for me. And if I certainly would be fucking proud of it, and it would be a birthday treat to myself to be like la 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 like Catherine of Valois. Sorry, just wouldn't be the one for me.
Also, they remember we know what he did because he wrote it down. What we don't know is any context about anyone else. I'm not saying anyone else kissed her, but maybe they did.
Okay,
maybe it was a thing.
Also gross. She's not the fucking Stone of Destiny. Fucking keep your mouth off of the dead lady. The corpse kissing is the corpse kissing, the maid fingering, the general fondlage. It's all bad. It's all bad.
Okay, come on then. Right, give us your score then.
9.
8.
Right, hang on. So after all that, you've got 8.
Yeah.
Do you want to revise the score?
Hands up if that makes sense.
9.
Okay,
9.
I'm going 8. Right. Okay.
Right. Well, now I'm going 8 because she's gone 9.
Okay. Right. Okay. Right. Fine.
Fair.
I'm keeping up. Professional.
He did good. He did big jobs.
He did good jobs professionally.
Big clever man did big good jobs.
Big good jobs. Thank goodness for his diary. I do think it is an incredible resource.
That is that leggy though.
Boaty good. Did some
boaty good. Boaty very good.
Learned boaty things. Not being a boaty man, but learned boaty things.
He did.
Because he realised he didn't.
Yeah.
Quick study.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lasarina. His commitment to cheese is certainly relatable.
Fair.
Parmesan. I'm thinking Parmesan must have been. I mean, if you bought a massive wheel of Parmesan now, it's not cheap. I wonder how expensive it was.
It's so expensive.
Yeah,
it's so expensive because it goes through so many ports and it's dutied. That's why, because of the amount of tax that goes on it. So it's stamped everywhere in this time, and that's why it's so expensive.
Passport by the time it gets here.
Yeah.
It's better travelled than me.
Yes. It's very well travelled. So,
I'm not going.
I can't think of it massively Gittish professionally.
I mean, he did do a lot of swapping sides. Kill the king, or let's forget that I said kill the king.
But he was at school then.
Kind of like I've got to do what I've got to do to not die.
But then equally, when he was at the execution, he was a schoolboy, and as I think we all know, schoolboys are full of piss and vinegar, and they don't. They're like their brain soup. Like they aren't.
If he's only that age as well, he's not actively participating at that point.
I don't think. Yeah, I mean, he was.
So,
okay.
in terms of professional life.
I'm going low too. I can't see
Yeah, I
much
think
there.
Yeah,
so.
2.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Legacy.
Well,
I mean, the diary. I forgive a lot about Pepys. I mean, do I still think he's a gross motherfucker? Yeah, but that diary.
We know a lot of them though, anyway, and it doesn't make them.
Yeah,
Doesn't make them people we wouldn't hang out with.
that's true.
Really?
That we know a lot of fucking depraved people, actually. But the diary does absolve. Does it absolve the necrophilia? No.
But he's
no,
the
that's
one
the problem,
admitting.
isn't it?
No.
That's the thing.
It's
He's the one
awful, but it's
admitting to the
amazing.
necrophilia. We only know
Yeah, there
it
was
because
no
it's
shame. No
self-proclaimed.
shame. No shame at all.
But he thinks it's funny.
Shameless necrophilia isn't better.
No. But he just thinks it's fun.
But maybe he
doesn't
just
see
gave her.
it like
Maybe
that.
he just gave her a little kiss rather than like.
We aren't doing shades. We aren't doing shades of tugging the dead queen. We aren't fucking doing that. No, sorry, not today, Satan. Absolutely not.
No, I know. It's just
no.
weird. The whole
diary
like
is-
she's
the
still out
diary
on
is-
show is weird.
Oh,
But
God.
anyway,
The
yeah.
diary, though. The diary.
The
Diary, yeah.
That takes that legacy of Git. Just
It does. He really can't be high.
like
And nothing he
what?
did had a negative impact after he'd gone, I don't think.
No,
Did he do
I mean, it's
anything
quite
that had an impact afterwards?
well, he is involved in like the Navy and thus the trade and what comes on from that. But he's a cog in that machine, I would say. I don't think he's
him himself.
he's not no more than anybody else at the time.
Yeah.
No. Okay, I'm going 1.
Maybe a push, yeah. Maybe because of the trading, maybe a 2. Okay, give it 2.
Okay, Catherine.
Pressure. 2.
Right. Okay. Right. Culpability, everyone.
Right. We've got a minute on the clock. No, 30 seconds on the clock. I said the wrong number just then. It was very hard and it's quite late. It has been such a very hot day. But is it yes or no? Is he culpable? Did he know what he was doing? Is it all an accident? Like kissing a dead queen? What do you think it's about? He buried it with cheese. What do you think of Pepys? We call him also Seeps. He is a dirty fucker. Is it yes or no? Let us know what you think. We're going to do a 30-second countdown to find out if he's culpable. Please say yes or no. The end.
The end. Yeah, mine's coming through slow.
I'm seeing loads of yeses. Yeses.
A lot of yes, but we do have also a lot of no's. Oh, bear with me, caller. No and yes, and no, and yes, no, yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay.
I'm not getting very many come through, so I don't know if it's just not.
Okay, right.
I got 5 yeses and 4 nos.
I got about 15 no's and the rest are yeses. So yeses do have it. So there we go. So we do have a culpability score of 10. Our audience is way less forgiving than us. All of them are culpable for everything this week. So that gives him an overall score of 46. So there you are.
Well, there we go.
That puts him right. So shall I give you some idea of where our Gits have ended up in the league table?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we have, first of all, Sarah Churchill, first Duchess of Marlborough, on 81. She is coming up 4th in that case, just behind George IV. and above Elizabeth I. Then by order of rank, I'm going to go William III because he had 80, so he would come in just below Sarah Churchill. Richard Neville, Warwick the Kingmaker, had a score of 53. That puts him in between Isabella of France and John Knox. So he's in the middle of those two. And Samuel Pepys on 46 is a tie with Prince Albert. The only one who has scored lower is Robert the Bruce.
Wow.
Could you have found two people who were more dissimilar in terms of their predilections? If Prince Albert knew that he was level pegging with that pervert Pepys, he'd be like, "What? I am Prince Albert."
What?
Yeah.
I am on day 495 of German on Duolingo, by the way, and that is about as much as I can say.
Yeah, I have to say I'm trying with the old French. Mine's 400 and something, but I'm not. I'm going to say I'm not a natural. Is all I'm going to say.
You need practice. You see, it gets to the point where you need practice. Rebecca is asking, Becky's asking, is King John the winner so far? Well, actually,
someone on here is saying, is Henry VIII still number one? So
top place is tied. It is a tie on 92 between Henry VIII and King John. So there you go. They are the tie. Raven of Ard, day 954. Oh, well, that's impressive.
Oh no, Liz,
Wow.
I'm on 1300 and something for Scottish Gaelic.
Cool.
That's really cool. I've started Latin as well.
Weren't you doing some Italian too?
I've done Italian as well. Yeah. So, but it's weird. The more I try and speak the German, the more the Italian comes back. It's weird. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, there you go.
I can't cope with one.
I remember my 3 years of Latin at school. We had the Caecilius books.
Yeah, you've already done it. I think all kids should do Latin. I really do.
I mean, all I could do is Salve Magistra, and then she says Salve te puelle sedate. That's it.
Which
sounds good.
Hello, teacher, and she says, "Hello, female student, sit down."
Oh.
And also Caecilius est in aula, which is Caecilius in the hall. Cerberus est in aula. That's the dog is in the hall.
I believe nilli legitimate carborundum means don't let the bastards get you down.
Yes.
Oh, like it. Could have a t-shirt with that on. Feel very...
Yeah. And my school
cultured.
motto is in Latin, sub umbra alarum tuarum, which means forever under the shade of thy wing.
Oh. They changed my school motto recently after I left. Well, a long time after I left.
What
because
did
it had
do?
been a place for,
I was going to say.
It wasn't me. No, it was felt the sort of, with the times moving on, that this was inappropriate to have emblazoned over the left breast of young ladies the words serve and obey. It's very fucking Handmaid's Tale. Very Handmaid's Tale. Yeah.
Right, Philippa.
Pick all school mottos are Latin. That's a fair point.
Not mine.
Sorry.
What's happening next week?
Well, I think we need to have a discussion about next week. Again.
I can't remember, if I'm being honest.
It's Q.
Yeah.
And we need to have a discussion about Q.
We are going to have a discussion about that.
We need to talk about Q. So it's going to be another one, people, that you have a look. We'll decide.
Have a look.
You know, about 5 minutes before we do it. Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah. So
okay, Philippa, tell us about all the other things you normally tell us about.
So you can support us on buymeacoffee.com. Thank you very much to everyone who has already done that. Chrissy, we must give another shout out to for our super chat tonight on YouTube. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
But yeah, you can go along to buymeacoffee.com/hadpodcast. And you can actually get us on the podcast now on YouTube. So you can get us on a podcast. That is where you can submit. We're going to make Catherine submit to the Winnebago, but you can contribute to the Winnebago fund. We might go for a mini bago just to get things rolling sooner rather than later. Warm up. You can also I always forget to say this, Catherine normally picks it up as well anyway, but you can it's on buymeacoffee.com/had podcast that you can become a close friend of ours and see some incredibly depraved things that Catherine finds on the internet.
It's normally
Posted
me.
up on on a fairly regular basis, so you can do that. You can also sign up to our Substack, which is historyafterdarkhub.substack.com, and that is where one day we will put everything. That's the intention. There you go.
Oh wow, Teresa, thank you so much.
Thank you, Teresa. That's very generous.
We all suddenly
very
got a
kind.
bit like shell
sticker.
shock. Oh, Teresa, thank you. We really appreciate all the support that everybody gives us. You know, so much more than we can say, which brings me to the fact that obviously we are on 2 platforms at the moment, but you can access our Substack as well, as Philippa was just saying. If you only follow us here on YouTube, thank you very much. Please consider following us as well on Instagram, where it's history.after.dark, where, as Philippa mentioned, you can join us on our close friends, and you also get a little bit of extra content now and again in terms of memes and silly photos of Cat pointing at willies and things like that.
That was hilarious, though. That's ridiculous. Whoever did that
did that on purpose.
How did they not? Yeah, they must have done it on purpose.
I've got some screenshots to put up, actually. Yeah, so that I've got a bit behind with those. So yeah, bits and pieces like that. So please do follow us down there. If you are only on Instagram, thank you very much. But please do consider us coming down to YouTube, History After Dark. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, press the bell button, do all of the things, because it really helps us and we really, really appreciate it. And please just tell us all your thoughts, most of them.
Maybe not all of them. Well,
it's not a confession.
No.
We're not bound by that. Don't confess crimes. We don't want to know about. We'd have to tell you if
we would
maybe.
If it was,
but don't confess crimes. Don't confess crimes. We can't deal with that.
Doing it in public. Anyway, so yes, don't forget your past problems post bags, History After Dark 2021 at gmail.com. And we shall see you this time. Well, not this time next week, obviously, about an hour and a half. Anyway, and yes, for whatever Q is. Surprise.
Yeah.
Surprise.
It will be fabulous. It will be fabulous, whatever it is.
Of course it will.
So, yeah.
I'm going to count us out then, shall I?
Okie dokie.
Right, thanks, everybody. I'm going to count us out in 3, 2, 1.
Bye.